In the end, they will destroy the earth and the heaven if they go on like this, because their words are full of darkness. Those were the words of one of the survivors of the 2002 anti-Muslim pogrom which took place in Gujarat. It seemed as if the Kali Yuga had come and the cosmic dancer had lit the great fire that will engulf the whole world.
Om Namah Shivaya.
We usually consider Hindus and Muslims as two separate, monolithic and antagonistic communities. As the Ismaili saint Pir Shams said, the Hindu goes to the 68 pilgrimage centres, while the Muslim goes to the mosque, but neither the Hindu nor the Muslim know my Lord. According to him, the true religion is beyond such distinctions.
The mosque in which you step to pray is just a pagan temple as long as you're engrossed in else than truth. Those were the words of the 13th century Persian poet Shabistari. He goes on saying, but when that alien raiment is taken off, the temple's form becomes for you a mosque.
Is this a small ruined shrine, a Hindu or a Muslim sacred place? There are two recesses in the wall. One is dedicated to a Hindu hero who died in battle, and the other to a Muslim martyr. Aren't such rigid boundaries artificial? In India, Hindus and Muslims intermingle in everyday life, and it is often impossible to identify one's religious affiliation through any visual outward sign. It is not rare to see Hindus praying at a Muslim saint's grave, and Muslims making offerings to Hindu deities. In writer Prem Chand's short story, The Temple and the Mosque, the main character is a Muslim who had a perfect knowledge of Persian and Arabic, recited his prayers 5 times a day, fasted during the Ramadan month, and read the Quran every day. This did not prevent him from also respecting Hindu customs. Every morning, he started the day by taking a purifying bath in the Ganges. Indifferent to rain or hail, he took a 2-kilometer walk to reach the bank of the river. Back home, he filled a silver flask with Ganges water and never drank anything else. Besides, the whole year round, he invited a Brahmin to recite the Hindu sacred texts. Indian society is in fact based on an exchange of services between different communities. These interactions go well beyond any religious affiliation.
अरे हम खुश नसीब हमारी यार फिल्म बन रही है कम बात है क्या हमारी बना क्या गाना पर यार
In Prem Chand's story, the Muslim's best friend is a Hindu Rajput who accompanies him everywhere, including Mecca for the Hajj pilgrimage. This phenomenon is often linked to traditional occupations. In Rajasthan, for example, silver foil, which is offered in some Hindu and Jain temples, is manufactured by the Panigars, a local Muslim community.
The present Maharajas may have ceased to rule, but they keep inviting Muslim Nagarchis to play the fanfare. Similarly, the lamp bearers employed during marriage processions were chosen exclusively among Muslims.
For centuries, Manihars have been making wedding bangles for Hindus and Muslims alike. When the Muslim Manihars fit the wedding bangles on the arms of a Hindu bride, 2 religious communities share in this ritual. Hindu royal families and noblemen still invite the Manihars to their weddings. Many Hindu and Muslim craftsmen have similar occupations and religious practices. Many Indians believe in the powers of deities and saints, whom they invoke to solve their problems. Some shrines display symbols from both religions. others are shared spaces. At Chotwara, now a suburb of Jaipur, the shrine of the Muslim saint Gulab Shah shares a common wall with the temple dedicated to the god Hanuman. Whenever the Hindu priest is absent, the Muslim caretaker officiates in the Hindu shrine, while the Hanuman devotee often performs Gulab Shah's cult in his Muslim brother's absence. What are the causes of interreligious conflicts? Why do Hindus worship Muslim saints?
हाँ जी नमस्कार नमस्कार तो आपके हिसाब से क्या भगवान एक ही है या अलग अलग है?
भगवान मानो तो एक ही है, नहीं से अलग अलग है।
आप थोड़ी समझते कि वो अलग अलग है, वो भगवान
नहीं
अलग है,
समझते।
वो नहीं ऐसी।
वो मुसलमानों के है ना, जो मेरे धर्म की बहन बनी हुई है।
अच्छा जी, कहाँ पे कहाँ रहती
वो
है?
ये सामने रहती है।
सामने रहती है, आपकी धर्म बहन है?
हाँ।
अच्छा, आपकी उम्र की है या?
नहीं, मेरे से ज्यादा।
तुम्हारी स्कूल में कुछ पढ़ाते हो?
हाँ बाबा, बहुत कुछ पढ़ाया। हमें सिखाया कि धर्मों सभी धर्म एक से होते हैं, रहन सहन सबका एक ही है, खान पान सबका एक ही है, किसी से भी मतलब दुर्व्यवहार नहीं करना चाहिए और किसी को भी अपने से अलग नहीं मानना चाहिए। किसी की भी जाति अपने, किसी को भी ऐसे नहीं समझना चाहिए कि किसी अपनी जाति अलग है, अपना धर्म अलग है तो अपन इसके साथ नहीं रहे, नहीं बैठे। मैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं मानती, क्योंकि मैं सबका खाना मतलब उसके सबके साथ रहन सहन रहती हूँ और सबके साथ ही मिलजुल कर सब कुछ करती हूँ।
आपकी कोई सहेली भी है जो
हाँ,
लंदन हो?
हाँ।
क्या नाम है?
मेरी सहेली का नाम है पाकीजा।
आपकी क्लास में ही है?
हाँ, मेरी क्लास में।
The 15th century saint and Muslim weaver, Kabir, used to say, Hindus and Muslims have the same Lord. Later, Guru Nanak, who founded the Sikh religion, declared, there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim.
करता पुरख निरभौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सै पंग गुर प्रसाद जप.
In Rajasthan, Dadu spread the same message. Pranath, a 17th century saint, asserted there is only one God. What the Vedas said, the Quran also said. Belief in the miraculous powers of saints and deities is much more important than affiliation to any particular religion or sect. Regardless of caste or religion, devotees regularly flock to their shrines. Shyam Bagh, popularly known as the Fairies' Garden, has both a Hindu temple and a Muslim tomb shrine. According to popular belief, the seven sisters, or mothers, are also the fairies described in the Quranic tradition. Disabled children are believed to be possessed by these deities and are brought to the temple dedicated to the seven goddesses known as Mamai, where Hindu priests claim to cure them. At the same time, those who need some advice consult a Muslim female healer who officiates every Sunday in front of the Saint Daria Shah's Dargah.
जैसे यहाँ पे अगर जिन बच्चों के आँख नाक फिर जाते हैं, जैसे ना आँख नाक भेंगे हो जाते हैं, या जैसे मस्त से हो जाते हैं, मुंह से राल बहती है, जैसे कि हाथ पैर से मोहताज होते हैं, पैर जरे रह जाते हैं, उन सारे बच्चों का इलाज यहीं पर ही होता है ख़ास तौर से इस बाग में। और इस बाग के अंदर मतलब क्या है, जैसे एकता की, कौमी एकता के लिए बनाया गया है ख़ास तौर से ये। जैसे हर जाति का, सातों जाति का आदमी यहाँ पर आता है ख़ास तौर से।
और पहले मंदिर वगैरह नहीं था?
पहले टेम्पल था मतलब, लेकिन इन लोगों ने इतना कवर नहीं किया था। लेकिन अब मतलब रफ्ता रफ्ता छोटा सा, अब रफ्ता रफ्ता
वो दरगाह भी
होती गई। दरगाह भी छोटी सी थी
और ये बड़ा हो गया।
ये बड़ा रफ्ता
मस्जिद नहीं था,
खाली पेड़ था, दरख्त, उस पे तस्वीरें लगी रहा करती थी।
पेड़ के नीचे तस्वीरें रखी हुई थी, बस
इतना ही। पेड़ के नीचे तस्वीरें
सात भाइयों की फोटो रखी रहा करती थी। एक पत्थर की सिला थी, वो रखी हुई थी उनके नीचे।
बस इतना ही। तो हमने देखा काफी हिंदू लोग तो आते हैं,
बहुत आते हैं दर्शन,
विश्वास करते हैं, मानते हैं,
सब मानते हैं, सब मानते।
काफी ज्यादातर महिलाएं, औरतें हैं ना,
औरतें भी पुरुष दोनों ही आते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा। खासतौर से बच्चों का ज़्यादा होता है इलाज यहाँ, बच्चे ज़्यादा आते हैं।
तो मैंने एक ऐसा मंदिर देखा जहाँ वो 7 मामाएं होती है। क्या आप इनके बारे में कुछ बोल सकते? कौन कौन होते हैं ये देवियाँ, ये माता?
ये 7 बहनें होती हैं
जी।
जो 7 बहनों में कई तो गूंगी होती हैं।
अच्छा।
और कई मतलब बोलती हैं, है ना। जो गूंगी बहरी है वो हमारे इन बच्चों की जो जात जड़ूले करते हैं ना, बाल उतरवाते हैं, होते हुए बच्चे के बाल उतरवाते हैं हमारे, तो वो गूंगी है।
तो हमने एक मंदिर देखा जयपुर के पास में, आमेर के रास्ते में, इसको परियों का बाग बोलते हैं।
वो परियों का बाग है।
आप जानते हैं इस मंदिर को?
मंदिर में जानती हूँ मैं।
भैरू जी की मूर्ति भी है।
हाँ, भैरू जी की मूर्ति भी है, परियों की भी मूर्ति है। उसमें जाते हैं लोग बाग, भादवे के महीने में जाके चढ़ावा भी चढ़ा के आते हैं
जी,
भोग भी दे के आते हैं।
पास में एक दरगाह भी है, सूफी दरगाह भी है, मुसलमान दरगाह है।
दरगाह भी है, वो आगे जाके थोड़ी सी दूर आगे जाके दरगाह
जी।
और वो परियों का बाग है, वो उसको परियों का बाग ही बोलते हैं।
तो वहाँ पर सभी मानते हैं,
सभी सातों ही जात,
दोनों हिंदू मुसलमान
सब सातों ही जात मानती है।
इलाज के लिए जाते हैं?
इलाज के लिए जाते हैं।
अच्छा, और कुछ लोग कहते हैं 7 मामाई और 7 पिरियाँ एक ही बात है?
वो बहने एक ही है,
एक ही है, इसलिए सभी मानते हैं। आप वो कब गए थे पिछली दफा उस दरगाह पे?
मैं गए होंगे याद नहीं, मैं तो जब भी गई थी उसकी तबीयत खराब हुई थी।
अच्छा,
उसके बाद में नहीं गए।
नहीं, एक साल हो गया, 2 साल हो गए, ज्यादा हो गए,
2-2.5 साल हो गए।
2.5 साल हो गए। पिंकी की तबीयत खराब हुई थी ना
जब गई थी उधर।
हाँ, और फिर वो पिंकी वो ठीक हो गई ना?
ठीक है,
तो बिल्कुल ठीक ही है, लेकिन उस टाइम पे तबीयत खराब हो गई थी ना, मुझे याद है। हाँ, एक बात और बताओ कि जैसे जो 7 परियां होती है, हाँ, और वो पास में मंदिर है ना, 7 मामाई देवी के मंदिर, वो सही में वही है क्या?
हाँ।
कैसे वो मतलब नाम अलग है लेकिन वही है क्या?
बटन ऐसा है जैसे वो 7 परी हैं, लेकिन 7 ही बहन है वो।
अच्छा,
तो उसका माता पिता तो एक ही है ना सबके?
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल।
पर लेकिन अपना अपना दिमाग अलग है उनका।
अच्छा
भाई, तुम अपने दिमाग की हो, मैं अपने दिमाग की हूँ, ये अपने दिमाग की है, तो ये इतनी इनमें फर्क है, लेकिन भय नहीं, सब
लेकिन जैसे चाहे भी पेरी बोलो, चाहे भी मामाई बोलो, एक ही बात,
एक ही बात,
और सभी मानते हैं, वैसे
सभी मानते हैं,
हिंदू भी मानते हैं।
Many Hindus worship snakes as powerful deities. In the Quran, it is said that jinns can appear as snakes. After independence, the Public Works Department, wishing to widen a road, sent their bulldozers to demolish a Muslim graveyard. They were interrupted by the miraculous appearance of a threatening snake. Was it perhaps a jinn who came to stop the demolition? Many graves were thus spared, and some Muslims built a small shrine dedicated to this miraculous snake in this very spot. We are back at the fairies' garden.
सलाम जिन्नातों के या परियों के बादशाह
जी हाँ समझ गई।
Legend has it that this palace was always haunted by jinns. Several Hindu popular deities are said to also reside there. Every Thursday afternoon, a Muslim caretaker gives advice to devotees of all castes and creeds. He distributes traditional medicines and cures the sick with his peacock feather broom. Many Hindus believe in the power of jinns, while some Muslims pray to Hindu deities. Many Hindu rulers worshipped Muslim saints. Every day, the last ruling Maharaja of Jaipur, Man Singh II, used to offer oil to light the sacred lamp at Abdul Qadir Shah's shrine in Jaipur, and at Zulfikar Ali's tomb on the road to Amba. However, much earlier in the 18th century, Maharaja Pratap Singh worshipped a number of Sufis. He built Jaipur's famous Wind Palace. Legend has it that when he started to build a royal pavilion in the middle of the lake, the Lord of the Jinns, who haunted the area, took the shape of a dervish and performed a miracle in front of him. He opened his shawl, and all the lake's water rushed into it. Pratap Singh asked for forgiveness, and the water flowed back into the lake. The Maharaja became his disciple. Consequently, the royal pavilion could never be used as a summer palace. The palace is still believed to be haunted by jinns. Even now, when the lake is dry, devotees flock to the palace island to honor the jinns. One winter morning, Pratap Singh was riding in the city when he caught sight of a dervish sitting in front of a fire. The Maharaja took off his costly shawl and offered it to the fakir, Amani Shah, who immediately threw it into the flames. Pratap Singh was furious. The dervish then took his fire tongs and retrieved, one by one, hundreds of shawls, all of them identical. He asked the Maharaja to identify his shawl and take it back. Impressed by this miracle, the ruler of Jaipur became Amani Shah's devotee. Very spot where the miracle was performed, a memorial shrine was built alongside a Shiva temple. A Hindu priest now performs worship in both shrines. Upon his death, the dervish saint was buried far from the city, and a shrine was built in his name. The road that leads to this now grand mausoleum is called Amani Shah Road.
हाँ, मैं तीर्थ जी को क्या सभी को मानता हूँ, जहाँ विश्वास हो जाता है वहाँ सभी को मानता हूँ।
आप दूसरी दरगाहों पर भी जाते हैं?
हाँ, मामा भांजा है अपने दुर्गापुरा में, वहाँ भी जाता हूँ। तो दरगाह के वैसे तो मैडम क्या है, कहीं भी मेरा निकलना होता है तो जैसे अपने टॉप रोड पर सैयद का गट्टा है तो वहाँ भी हाथ जोड़ लेते हैं। मानने को चाहे वो दरगाह हो, मंदिर हो, तो गुरुद्वारे के सामने से निकल रहा हूँ तो वहाँ भी माथा टेक जाएंगे।
During his lifetime, Amani Shah is said to have performed many other miracles. He once caused a small river to flow into this dry area. This river is known as Amani Shah's Canal. It starts near his tomb shrine, flows through the whole city of Jaipur up to Sangena, where its waters are still used by the dyers. Sanganer was once a flourishing city. It is still an important handicraft centre. Hindu and Muslim dyers still make printed fabrics. It has a number of Muslim shrines, including the Garden Tomb Shrine, whose caretaker himself belongs to the community of Muslim dyers. One of his ancestors installed a stone slab in honor of a Hindu hero.
आपका शुभ नाम है अब्दुल करीम, हाजी अब्दुल करीम। तो आप इस दरगाह के गद्दी नशीन हैं। कितने पीढ़ियों से इधर की मदद करते हैं? अच्छा जी। और जो बाबा यहीं है उसको बाग वाले बाबा भी कहते हैं, जिसका नाम है हाजी अकबर अली। हाजी अकबर अली जी कौन थे? पठान थे। अच्छा, और ऐसा बताते हैं कि उन्होंने कई पर्चा दिखाया और उनकी मुरीद हुए थे। ये जो दोनों मज़ार है ये कौन थे? मियाँ बीबी। कौन सी जाति के थे? छिपे। छिपे मुसलमान या हिंदू? हिंदू थे।
Every Thursday night, the caretaker, Abdul Karim, enters into a trance possessed by the buried saint's spirit. Hindus and Muslims come to the shrine, seeking his blessing and a solution to their problems. Here is another Muslim tomb shrine near Sanganer. Since the dead saints' names are unknown, it is simply known as Uncle-Nephew Mausoleum. Here also, the caretakers belong to a Muslim craftsman caste. Hindus and Muslims flock to this shrine and share in the same religious ceremonies. The main tomb is that of a Muslim martyr known as Uncle. One can also see 3 other Muslim graves and a small Hindu shrine with a stone slab dedicated to a deified hero. The Muslim caretakers perform the cult at this shrine. In fact, the Hindu warrior who died in battle seems to be the equivalent of a martyr in the Muslim tradition. They were perhaps originally the same person. However, when Hindu and Muslim identities started to crystallize towards the end of the 19th century, the 2 aspects of the saint may have become separate entities. Towards the end of the 19th century, a number of factors have contributed to the formation of 2 clear-cut communal identities. The British colonial rule instigated the census in India, classifying the people along caste and communal lines. One should also mention the activities of various reformers who tried to put an end to syncretistic beliefs and practices, and to convince people to follow a purer, more orthodox form of religion. Gradually, people started to outwardly show signs of their religious affiliation. Various symbols started being used as identity markers. A handful of reformers encouraged those untouchable communities who still followed practices from their former Muslim identity to eat pork and stop eating cow flesh. Consequently, the very words Hinduism and Islam were given a more specific and limited meaning. These words became mere clichés, minimizing the huge diversity of India's religious traditions. The presence of graves dedicated to Muslim martyrs suggests that Islam is linked to violent conquests and forced conversions. However, these are further clichés that have been spread by colonial powers. The British also thought that tolerance and non-violence were typically Hindu phenomena. We have inherited this simplistic worldview that is often contradicted by facts. Gebi Pir's legend illustrates this phenomenon. Here, non-violence is connected with Islam, and it is a Muslim saint who convinced Hindus to adopt a more humane attitude in their rituals. Man Singh I, the Raja of Amba, a powerful kingdom whose capital was later transferred to Jaipur in the 18th century, was the faithful ally and commander-in-chief of the great Mughal Akbar. Man Singh fought many battles for the Muslim emperor and defeated the Hindu ruler of Mewar, who was backed by a Muslim Pathan army. He brought back from Bengal a statue of Kali and built her a temple at Amba. Legend has it that this fierce goddess demanded a human sacrifice every day. One day, a mysterious fakir appeared in front of an old woman who was crying. She was a widow, and her only son was to be sacrificed on that day. The Muslim saint told her that he would replace him on the sacrificial altar. But, far from submitting to this gruesome ceremony, he slapped the statue of Kali in the face. The fakir then ordered the goddess to renounce human sacrifices and instead accept animal sacrifices. Expecting a second slap, the goddess turned her head sideways and finally asked for forgiveness. The Brahmins and the king accepted the fakir's lesson. The Muslim saint became known as Gebi Pir. After his death, he was buried near the fort. Man Singh and his successors kept sending oil to feed the shrine's sacred lamp. Gebi Pir had a number of disciples who continued his tradition. Two of them, Mastan Shah and Wazir Ali Shah, are buried in a neighbouring shrine. This smaller shrine is also a healing centre. Neither Jaipur guidebooks nor history books mention the following. The royal gates through which the Maharajas once entered the palace are crowned with holy shrines dedicated to two Muslim saints. These dervishes are the symbolic guardians of both the city and royal palace. The Maharajas often believed in their powers. The saint Mastan Ali Shah, a disciple of Gebi Pir, used to meditate here, where a shrine was later built in his honour. The second gate's memorial shrine has been built in the name of a martyr, whose grave is located in the sacred city of Ajmer. Since the foundation of Jaipur, the Muslim Nagachis have been playing music above this gate. They still serve the Maharaja and wear the same turban as all those who work for him, regardless of religious affiliation. The city's royal gates thus tell the story of a living tradition where Hindus and Muslims peacefully intermingle. This tradition is still alive in spite of the communal riots repeatedly featured in the media. This tradition of communal harmony can also be observed elsewhere in India. All over India, there are innumerable sacred spaces shared by Hindus and Muslims. Refusing to hear the war cries of those who would divide them, many Hindus and Muslims continue to share the same sacred spaces, nurturing in their hearts the same devotion to the one God.